something not that chill happened to me last week.
Again?
Yeah. I was at a function.
Heard.
And it was like a big group of people from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I'm from. And, you know, whatever, I'm like meeting new people, making new friends. And this guy was like, oh, like, when did you guys graduate from high school? To like me and my friend. And she said 2011 and I said 2012. And he said, oh, like he recoiled.
How old is he?
Girl, I don't know. He graduated in like 2018 from high school. I said, oh, the way that he looked at me like I was a wrinkled up, crinkled up, pruny, old hag. I was like, ooh, it hurt me in my spirit.
Did he make you show your hands?
No, no, he was white, so he didn't know how to do that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, girl, you're about to look old. So listen, you about one more good year, Mr.
Milk it while you can.
22-year-old. Yeah, it was horrible. My friend and I just walked away.
Well, that's correct. That's the only correct response besides physical
and
action.
I was like, wow, dang. Are we that old? He was like, no, I'm sorry. I was like,
Do you feel old in
No,
your 30s?
I'm young at heart. No.
Like, do you feel like 30s and old age? Like,
no.
Yeah.
Because this is what I've always said since I was like 19.
Mm-hmm.
When you turn 27, put yourself in a casket. That's old. 27 is old.
Right.
Because then you become the oldest of your young friends. Once you turn 30, you're the youngest of your regular friends. 30 feels young to me. I
think so too.
I feel younger at 30 than I felt at 29.
Yeah,
29 felt like feeble.
What happened
on a
to
cane.
Your Saturn return got your ass. I can tell that. No, 30s, I'm like, that's sexy. Being in your 20s is a prison. Get out of there.
Yeah,
be an adult.
yeah. No.
But I've always had older friends strategically for a reason. So that I could be like,
oh, you love being the young friend?
Little old me.
You're so annoying.
I'm just a girl.
You're so annoying.
Thank you.
Well, I believe in love again.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Because I did this project. I'm working on it for a while for Hinge, where I interviewed this beautiful British couple, Leah and Ola.
Yeah.
And I interviewed them for, several sessions about like their first date and like their relationship. They met on Hinge. They're engaged now. But it was so fun getting to see like, what his perspective on their first date versus her perspective. And like, he was nervous. She was nervous. She could see that he was nervous. So it made her more nervous. It was just a really like lovely story put together by Hinge that's going to be in a book.
Oh, that's so cool.
My second time being published in like a real book. First time was Ladybird essay. What's
the A24 one? I have it on my shelf actually. Is it like a Hinge book or is it for like a bigger story of like love or whatever?
No, it's a Hinge book.
Cool.
It's called No Ordinary Love.
Oh, cool.
And it's like a collection of several like short kind of stories about people who met on Hinge. But yeah, it's so funny when you meet someone. It's like, oh, I feel like I know them so well because I've been like talking to them about their relationship for so long. And I if they weren't like so incredibly sweet and funny and special, it would not have felt so like rewarding. But
you're kind of their third. That's beautiful. Hunter doesn't believe in polyamory. That's okay. And don't comment on it because I know it's true.
Not good enough for them. No, I love them so much.
Oh, what a PR, but I'm not good enough for them. You're like, that's not that. I can smell a polyamorous relationship.
I can't be in polyamory. I'm a Leo.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. But you would ride in a threesome though. Because Leos are always like, oh, me, centerpiece, I guess. For one night only.
Listen, challengers. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Took notes.
Could be object of multiple people's affection. No one can have a crush on me though, because I talk too much. I don't have an air of mystery.
Yeah, you're that person that gets kidnapped and you're like, so why me? They pull over like, get the fuck out of the car. We take this all back. Well, speaking of interviewing people, I spoke to Bella Ramsey for I think it's out now. I don't know when we're recording, what is time, for a cover story for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on The Last of Us.
Very nice.
They're awesome. I believe in the youth again, even though I just said, like, you're under 30, kill yourself, but except for Bella Ramsey, who I will say, I don't know, not that, like, you're doing this to get a pull quote or anything, but something that really made me sit up was when they told me about how they, like, explored their gender identity on Club Penguin.
Oh, wow.
Was that your gospel? Were you Club Penguining?
Mm-mm.
What happened in Tulsa? What happened in Oklahoma? No Degrassi, no Club Penguin, no Joy. What's happening here?
Girl, you already know.
church.
Yeah, I was in church.
At church having your slurpy dates and whatever.
No, oh my God.
my
Wait,
God.
did you talk to them about, you know what I'm going to ask?
The Artist Way?
Catherine
I did.
Cold Birdie. Oh, God.
And they're going to do it. They said they want to pick it back up. So
no, Catherine Cold Birdie. You talking about Catherine Cold Birdie?
Yeah, of course. It didn't make it in the piece, but I was like, Catherine. That's my girl.
Like I ride
Birdie.
for Catherine.
That's
I
my
ride
bitch.
for Catherine Cold Birdie.
But we were talking about some of the parallels in Bella Ramsey's character on The Last of Us and like where like the Catherine Cold Birdie-ness kind of comes out. And like in Ellie's portrayal of like her free-spirited side and her like silly and playful side, like when it comes out during, you know, the zombie apocalypse, which is a rarity. But when it does, Birdie boots. So if you're listening, go read it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
But wow, so much love in the air. So much love in this room right now.
And listen, because what are we talking about this week?
Say it.
Hello Forever on Netflix right now. Oh, I locked in, clocked in, buckled up.
Yeah.
I love love.
I love love and I love LA. Heard of it? Anyway.
Yes, totally. I have heard of it.
That one person in our comments is going to hate that I'm bringing up being bi-coastal again. But...
And to be clear, I'm not. Yeah. We're talking about that Justin Bieber comment. If you are on Instagram, you know the one. And, you know, Peyton gets to talk about lesbian drama for 10 minutes.
Jojo Siwa to be exact. Yeah.
So, hold on. Let me say this. Are you looking for a home for your worst opinions?
Are you a hater first, but a lover of pop culture second? Consider this a glorified group chat, but we're not calling you out. No. We're calling you in. It's a safe space
to talk shit.
But of course, from Wondery, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Let Me Say This.
Let me say this.
Let me say this.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
There's a part of me that is activated when I'm watching two young, hot people fall in love. To all the boys I've loved before.
Say it. The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yes. Jenny Han. This is her house.
This is her home.
And now Netflix Forever.
Yes.
I don't want to say like the show like was not even on my radar before I saw just people talking about it. Yeah. Not even on Twitter, girl, on Threads. And I said, and then you texted me and I was like,
I did.
Press play. Okay, logline of this show. A Netflix YA show created by Girlfriend's creator, Mara Brock Akil. This is the logline. So, reunited as teens, two childhood friends fall deeply in love, experiencing the joy and heartache of a first romance that will change their lives forever. It's based on the Judy Blume novel, which is about ostensibly like white teens. Yeah. But this adaptation makes both families Black.
Yes. Did you read that book?
No. I did read, I haven't read that much Judy Blume, but I remember very vividly reading Just As Long As We're Together, a Judy Blume novel about like two like female best friends and them like spying on these teen boys. And then they were like, oh, they have hair on their legs. That means they're like going through puberty. These like boys, like they're ready to have sex.
Yeah. But I'm a Judy Blume head.
My good Judy.
My good Judy. That was gay ally of you. Actually, nice. Put the fist down. Okay. I didn't read this book though. So I'd be interested to, you know, compare and contrast. But what's that tweet? Y'all afraid of being corny? I was born on the Cobb. I own property on the Cobb.
We know.
You don't have to tell the group.
Feet firmly planted on the Cobb. Yeah, I'm quite sure.
But I knew it would be corny. And so I was like accepting of that fact. But I actually was so not only into the show, but I love the lead actress. What is her name? Oh my gosh. Lovey Simone. Beautiful girl.
Why did you think it would be corny though?
Because it's a Netflix rom-com with a bunch of teens.
Maybe, but I did not find it corny. Like, I thought the first couple episodes were dragging a little bit. It's like the blocking, the unblocking. I'm like, dang.
Him having a meltdown about an essay. I mean, many such cases, but
I don't really want to be like 16 again. Yeah. I don't really want to be like thinking about homework too much. But I thought that it's like, oh, I love that they're treating this like teen high school relationship with like a great deal of seriousness.
Absolutely.
Like it really does have stakes. So when this girl is like, I don't want to tell my mom that we're dating because I don't want to have to like explain to her why I broke up with my ex over like a sex tape and have to like admit that to her. I was like, oh no, I like feel this great conflict inside of her. Yeah. And then his, real pain and heartbreak over over her not choosing him.
Well, I also was going to say something that's really nice is not just like switching. I don't know how much class plays a role in the book because I obviously didn't read it. But I do feel like there's a really strong commentary of like disparity of wealth and like the scale of like Black wealth within LA that you see in both their characters. That doesn't feel like it's hitting you over the head with it.
Yeah.
Like you obviously see a contrast in their lives. Like she is more poor and he is probably living in Ladera somewhere. Upper Ladera too, to be specific. But yeah, I feel like her empathy for her mom is really well explored.
Yeah.
And her mom's, I guess she had to switch schools after the sex tape dropped, right?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, specifically the cost of her going to school that she now has to pay for versus a full ride is, like, weighing heavy on her. And the amount of guilt even Alicia Keys, my mother, put me through. I said, I didn't even ask to go to this school. But she was like, every day. She said, you may not go back next year. Every day I work my ass off. And I'm like, I know. I got to get to calculus. Like, it's, anyway.
No, my mom would be like, sacrifice.
Yes. I would like complain about a teacher. My mom would be like, well, I saw a kid get shot. And I'd be like,
that's literally the scene in Lady Bird.
What do you want
your
me to
brother
do?
saw someone knifed in front of him in public school. Do you want to see that? And Lady Bird's like, he barely even saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm always off book. Listen, I stay ready. I stay ready.
Ready as hell. So Ronan and it slips you a 20.
No, I also liked, okay, have you gotten, I'm only on episode 5, the Martha's Vineyard episode.
Yeah, I'm halfway through that one.
I love that episode. I love like the Black parents in that episode and just how like funny they are, like the Black like adult community in that episode. I also like seeing a Black family where it's not like stern, domineering, like doctor father who's like, you need to like represent our like culture well, like that like strict harshness. I like that the dad is very like, let our son live, get his heart broken, fall in love, play basketball if he wants to, get good grades.
Play basketball if he wants to. Hardly. All he doing is shooting some threes. He ain't playing. He ain't really hooping.
You know what it reminds me of though?
That was so
First
gay.
of all,
he ain't really hooping, sitting like this. What? Okay, hold on.
I said, oh,
that was
okay,
crazy.
elephant.
Yeah,
relax.
Okay.
Put
Liberty.
Put the ball down.
Sorry.
This reminds me of your brother. Because I was gonna. Okay, it reminds me.
It's funny that you say that.
It reminds me of that time. Oh God, do you remember when Lewis, your brother, was coaching a like middle school team in LA, and he would be like on close friends, being like, "We're not making it to state.
We're not making it to state. These badass kids."
All love. No,
one of the kids who wouldn't
so...
play, being like, "Can I go home? Like I'm not playing."
Yes, literally.
Bro,
Lewis was coaching a middle school basketball team, and one boy showed up in Vans and was like, "Well, you never play me, so why would I wear real sneakers?" That was such a saga. And then also, the lead in it, what's his name? Michael Cooper Jr.
Yeah.
Looks like Lewis's hot friend who went viral in that video for cheating on his girlfriend.
Kenny?
Too many times to count.
Lenny.
I don't want to air him. I don't want to bleep out his name. We don't want to air out.
He's fine. He did it before. He'll do it again. Lenny, you're fine, babe. No, I was gonna say, it's so funny when watching the show. Obviously, being Black and from LA.
Yeah, we never forget it.
You don't. Just in case the audience is curious, I'll mention it one more time. But why did my mom deadass hit me with the? Is this fucking play about us? Like she was like, they went to El Cholo in the first episode. We go to El Cholo. I was like, every Black family in LA goes to El Cholo. It's like a very popular Mexican restaurant, but specifically with Black families. And my mom was convinced that someone had stalked us and like wrote this movie about us. Mind you, the only parallels, because my parents are, first of all, divorced. So let's remember that. My dad was like, maybe it is about us if we get back together. And then my dad spilled tea that he was like, it's so funny. The creator of the show, Mara, also had a kid who only could shoot threes and wasn't that great in school. And I was like, hold on. the intel from my father, who like coaches basketball sometimes at Harvard, was like, it's just
wow.
Anyway,
and that's the reporting we need on the front line.
Yeah, I keep my ear to the ground in my family group chat.
Let me tell you, this is so embarrassing, but like, I think I truly pressed play on this show because didn't know anything about the plot, didn't read the Judy Blume book, but I said, okay, sorry, we have Wood Harris and we have Karen Pittman. Girl, I said, I love these two people. Yeah. I love their marriage. Yeah. I love like, they just have such like an ease together and like, oh, you
and
guys
a
are
playfulness.
Like, yes, exactly.
Oh my God, it's fun to see.
That's what I mean. I like that we're seeing like a Black family on TV where it's like, oh, there's no like big backstory, but like how they have money or like where they came from or struggle. It's just that they like, just case in point, there's one shot in the Martha's Vineyard episode where Karen Pittman like just walks into the house and she's like, oh, where's our son? Like, what is he up to? And the way that she like, walks in and out of these rooms with like all of like these Black people just having a good time was so beautiful to me.
Yeah.
And then along comes a 3C curl.
I don't know who you're looking at.
A girl named Shannon who tries to come between our two lovers. Unsuccessful so far.
There's always a 3C curl pattern that tries to come between two lovers. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I actually want to talk about the casting because I really love, I don't know their ages, the kids playing the leads, but I love whatever age they look. It's like this, when you're a young person and you're a young teen, you're like looking for maybe like a older teen, early 20s kind of casting.
Yeah.
And when you're an adult watching a teen show, you don't want to feel like you're watching 13-year-olds run amok.
Yeah.
Or 35-year-olds run amok. And I feel like they all have this really nice look to them that doesn't feel too childish. Like the Disney casting of shows, it's like, who is this toddler like that you're probably putting work for too many hours? I like that I feel like they have a maturity to them.
Yeah.
And yet a really like playful youthfulness to them that they execute really well.
Well, listen, I mean, I know this is like a big buzz topic with overcompensating now.
Oh,
because obviously all those actors are like in their 30s.
Yeah.
But honestly, that doesn't bother me. Listen, I grew up watching Gossip Girl. I grew up watching Pretty Little Liars.
Yes.
If you
were 45 playing a teenager,
yes,
just like that Black woman.
Yes, I was gonna Beyonce's
Queen.
ex-stepsister.
I don't
what's
know
her name? Lawson. Bianca Lawson.
Yes.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me at all. Because it's like when you're 17 watching a show about teenagers on TV, you want them to look older because that's how you want to feel more adult. That doesn't.
I feel like we lost it after like Wizards of Waverly Place when everyone was like, you're actually too young to be looking at for some reason. I will say though, the sex scene that they have, the first time they don't even have sex, they basically dry hump and he comes. But I didn't like looking at his butt for so long. I was like, I don't like a man's butt in general. Get a man butt away from me.
I have to say, I did like the way that they showed a sexual experience that was really awkward. Like
many such cases.
Well, it felt like, I mean, I know I bring it up. It felt like Lady Bird, where it's like, oh, you're watching something that is like, oh, they're uncomfortable in their skin because, of course, they are because they're 16 and that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
like you were performing having sex. You were like, this is what I think it looks and feels like.
I just thought that like shooting that with so much youthful uncertainty was really wonderful. Like other than just, the euphoria of like, oh, you guys are really knocking boots. Interesting.
Knocking boots. There was something though that she did with her foot where I was like, you ain't know about all that yet. What you doing with put your toes down? What are you doing with your toes, girl? But that was very specific to me. But off of that, I'm curious how you feel, because I'm back and forth on this, about the amount of texting in the show. I was walking around, like, on my computer, half watching the show, and I would realize there would just be no audio, but because there was just so much texting going on.
Yeah.
And at first, like, a phone will really pull me out of a movie or a show. But then when I went and like sat my ass down, I was like, oh, I actually think that they did a really good job of showing the anxiety of texting.
Yeah.
And like the stress of waiting for a text back.
Yeah.
And so I ended up feeling fine about it, but I struggle with how much time is spent on a phone. Or is that just reality of like, what year is it? I don't know.
2018.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was saying to push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. But I also like that. I also like that it said in 2018.
Yeah.
Then it also
Pre-COVID, thank God.
It feels very current still because it's like, oh, I know exactly like what Migos song like is about to play. Or,
that explains more of the outfits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More of the outfits. Dang.
I got stressed.
No, I don't know. The phones. I think it's hard. I think I've seen a lot of shows do phones worse. I've seen some shows do phones better. But I do think there is something really nice about watching him like text out like, hey, can I talk to you? And then erase it all. And he's like, hey.
But they do that so many times.
I know.
Like, we get it now.
I think it also improves, at least like in the first or the second and third episode, it was really hard. It kept taking me out of it a little bit. But then once they're like together, I think there's not so much of that. But it is just funny being like, girl, how many times can you block and unblock the same account? Is that what it's like? Is that what it's like being 17? I think that's
as the resident 17-year-old.
I thought you were 19.
Yes.
No, but I think that like Gen Z just has such a, or like Gen Alpha, they have such a like, I blocked you. I unblocked you. If you block me, we're never speaking again.
Emotional as hell.
But that's the zillennial in me.
Anyway.
Something else that honestly, two elements of the show that truly almost brought me to tears. Granted, I did have a coffee. But Keisha and George, her paternal grandfather, when they were in the car and he's like taking her to like a 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. run.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, like my dad, like he really tries. And her grandfather was like, you know what? He really doesn't try enough. Because where is he now? Like he just loves you from afar. That's not good enough. I was like, oh, wow. I loved that. I loved that. And then I also loved her and her little white friend, Chloe. And the way that Chloe is like, listen, I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to want to hear, but it's true. Give that boy another chance. I said, you go head on, Chloe.
What have we always said? Every black girl needs one white bitch
that she doesn't play about.
She said, get behind me, Chloe, in the race war. I got you.
Chloe
and Chloe said, we going to Martha's Vineyard, okay?
Chloe's saying, we scheming? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're going to, so what are we going to do? We're going to walk to the black side of Martha's Vineyard. And we'll walk around until you feel like we have exhausted every option to find this boy.
Kind of Rachel Bruner. She took us to Martha's Vineyard and she don't play. Remember that? We went to Martha's Vineyard with our white friend.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so
different
funny.
situations, but
yes. But the thing is, Rachel will get her lick back and get us in some drama.
That's true.
Bed broke.
That's true. Leave all that in. That's just for one person. That's for no one else listening except for one person. One other hit that I loved about this show. The dialogue. I think it's hard to write teens. Like it's hard to write teens now that in a way that I think young people really resonate with. And I loved the language that they used that felt like not pandering. Even small bits. One of my favorite lines was when Keisha was acting a little crazy and she goes, sorry, I'm a Scorpio. First of all, many apologies need to be made. Some from my mother, actually, a Scorpio woman. But just like a thing that didn't really add to the moment but was small. And they have a lot of lines like that I feel like remind you of who these characters are, how young they are, what their world is like, in a way that feels like nuanced and like you actually talk to teenagers. You know what they talk about. You know how they engage with each other.
Yeah. I think that's very special. I like that like this is a show that's not afraid of letting their characters be wrong and make mistakes and that they can repair, not necessarily like neatly, but quickly enough that we can get to the next like kind of set piece. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't wait to finish.
I know, me too. Keisha is so me. I had
find you another Keisha.
She's dramatic, just like me. You know how earlier and always we be saying a black woman always needs a white bitch she don't play about? That's me and Jojo Siwa. Get behind me, girl. They coming for you.
Okay.
Coming for you.
Okay.
And I got you with me. Jojo, shout out to our sister in Christ.
One-time podcast guest.
Our famous podcast guest taught us the Karma's a Bitch dance. Hunter's neck stayed in place somehow during it, but nevertheless, we persisted. Jojo is in some hot water right now. Let me tell you about it.
I saw the hot water. It's a hot tub with a man.
That's just one of the hot waters. She's been in a lot of hot water. She's been dipping her toes. So Jojo Siwa has, in many ways, hard launched her bisexuality, if you will. Or, I would say she shifted her ID as being queer. Coming after her perceived romance, but it's like, what do you call a hand on a knee so many times? Many such cases. With co-star on Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, Chris Hughes. I don't know who this man is. I don't know where he comes from. I didn't even bother to Google him.
I don't know who his people are. I don't know.
I don't know who. I know Jojo for sure. That's my girl. Dance Moms alum. Shout out to you. She's someone that goes full out. But there was speculation around their relationship on the show. Everyone being like, why are they cuddling so close? What's up with that? Like, she's a lesbian. She actually came into the show having had a partner. I will say her partner, her former partner before Chris, ID'd as non-binary.
Okay.
And so I think the word lesbian for her, there's a rich history there. But at that specific time going into the show was already kind of hazy. Well before the show, my sis, lesbian, some hot water, had explicitly said that she doesn't like the word lesbian.
Okay.
Even though that's how she, at the time, was IDing.
Mm-hmm.
She just said it was not necessarily a dirty word, but it reminded her of the word moist.
Totally.
And she's like, I can't legally say anything on the matter.
No, listen, I'm Daniel Radcliffe, like straight but not narrow. Do you remember that whole campaign?
Yes.
Yeah,
wow, you very are straight but not narrow. But it really upset a lot of people. It really upset a lot of lesbians specifically, but I'll say a lot of young lesbians. A lot of people who feel very beholden to the word.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna step up on my soapbox for a minute because there's two things that are happening. One, Jojo Siwa coming out was simply major. I think she came out in like 2021 for having the platform that she did, the reach she did to specifically young people is something that I think to a lot of like cool queers was like whatever, but to her audience is a huge deal because like you're affecting so many lives of so many children.
Yeah.
In such, I think, a beautiful way, of course, but the backlash that she received for coming out as a lesbian or even just queer in general, I don't think she ID'd as lesbian specifically until later.
Can I also say, I remember vividly, like before she came out, people speculating, thinking that she was
queer.
Yeah, and her like not really wanting to say anything yet. But that, I think that's really inspiring.
Yeah. And I also think she didn't just come out. She like kicked that closet door down.
Yes. What is she, CMO of gay pop?
Stomped out. CMO. She's acting president and chief financial officer. And she came out with a bang, but I really appreciated it for what it was worth. I think it's fun when gay people are just as straight people have been, like messy and maybe a little sloppy at some points and kind of chaotic, but that's the point of it all, right?
Is that what you say when you look in the mirror?
Absolutely.
When you put that lip line on, you like
every morning I say, go get them, girl. Act just like Hunter's people and tear some shit up. But something that I think we need to talk about in the backlash of this is that so many people are distraught that she is possibly bi now by dating this guy. I'm concerned that he is 32 and she's 21.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's wake that conversation up, which for some reason is not being talked about. Like you look in all of her comments and all of her comments are like classic, like fake lesbian dating a guy now. Like, why is she dating a man? Girl, she's a girl and that's a man. That's a grown man. I really don't like, I'm pro age gap relationship after your brain is developed.
Yeah. That's that. She really is so young. I feel like with her, Billie Eilish, I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're all under 25 still.
Oh God, I hate that for them.
Yeah, but I am kind of living for her birthday post when she like won't really confirm the relationship, but he's in every single slide of the carousel. They're like cozied up, leg over other leg. He's like arm over other arm, like hand on thigh.
Hand on thigh was just the shot, like no faces, just straight aerial view, thigh, Chris hand.
It does feel very like vintage Facebook album where it's like we're truly in high school and it's like, are they talking or aren't they talking? It's like here are just
it's
4 photos of them. Yeah. It's very that.
It's complicated.
It's very Instagram like 2010 like high school dynamic.
Yeah, it's just so, I don't know. It just was upsetting me, the reaction to her being queer and bi, because I love a lesbian that doesn't stand on business.
It's important to advocate for your own community. Yeah.
Oh, quiet as kept.
It's not kept
It's
that
not
quiet.
kept quiet at all.
It's loud. I'll say it's pretty loud.
It's loud. Shoot, I gotta work on that.
Let's get loud.
Let's get loud. Going back to Big Brother for a second, a few things happened there that I, again, was pro but against. Pro, Chris defending Jojo Siwa when Mickey Rourke, was basically being homophobic. He was like let's get that lesbian out. I mean, I've said that before though, I guess, but
that's so different when you say it.
Then when me and Mickey Rourke equals, but not no. I hated that. I take that so back. But he was being so misogynistic to her, so homophobic, was like insinuating that she wouldn't be gay by the time, like if he stayed on the show, which first of all, you're 105, bro. And your face looks like it's melting off every second. And you have the nerve to come running your mouth to this poor 21-year-old girl who's just trying to pop lock and drop it. Leave her alone.
Jojo Siwa, get behind me. I don't like that at all.
No. Even though she did leave the show, not a lesbian. So, I mean.
Well, Big Brother, I don't go there. So you're telling me new information.
Oh, yeah. I mean, from a distance. That's more of like, on Twitter thing. But then, Chris came to her defense in that. And I feel like, okay, we love an advocate. We love an ally in the room with us right now. Thank you.
Listen, I'm listening to this conversation.
But you don't need to
I'm
date
really
your ally. You do not need to date your ally. That's why Hunter and I haven't made it work just yet in that category. And so I don't know. I think that was kind of something I did have to stand.
There can be ally trade.
Don't do that. Don't bring it here. That's not yours. Something that was iconic in Big Brother was the things Jojo Siwa does with copy. I will always impress me. Quote, I've always told myself I'm a lesbian, but I think being here I've realized, oh no, I'm not a lesbian. I'm queer. And then had said, I'm switching letters. Fuck the L. I'm going to the Q. I'm going to the Q.
I'll say her pin only rivals that of Club Chalamet.
You always find a way.
I do find a way.
Club Chalamet, Lady Bird,
Candy Burris.
Candy Burris. To tie us back together. Anyway, I want her to be as gay or straight or queer. You know, actually, I'm gonna be serious for a second. Like our conversation about Lorde last week. It's like, that's kind of the point of like understanding yourself when you're like a young person. Is like, you're gay, you don't know how you identify, you feel forced to be put into a box. So she probably like came out, thought she was only lesbian, and then like is understanding that like maybe she exists more on the spectrum. Hunter is nodding her head in a way that's like, I don't understand.
Well,
gay people.
no, listen, I'm trying to understand because last week you said you're about to take out a pitchfork for Lorde for not being a lesbian.
Have I ever stood on business about anything?
Oh.
Let a girl grow and change her mind. Isn't that what I just said?
Did you watch the other two?
No.
Oh, well, they had the thing on the other show called This Has Been the Gay Minute.
And that's what this segment was.
Truly.
Yeah.
I'm just nodding along.
Anyway, Jojo, dump this man. Use it for PR if you need to for a little bit, but please get away from him after that.
Do you know that old Kevin Durant tweet?
No.
That's like, what are we doing to our beautiful queens?
You always find a way. That's all I'm going to say.
Because, sorry, Hailey Bieber was on the cover of Vogue, major. Rhode is not going to be sold in Sephora, major. And Justin Bieber, his like caption for his promo post of Hailey on Vogue, no, sorry, what are we doing to our beautiful queens?
And I'll go ahead and get on this mic. Make sure you can hear me loud and clear. Yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected. I thought, I gotta get even, ... I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover because clearly I was sadly mistaken.
And I just...
No credits and no tags, by the way.
Good. And good. Because what's she going to do? Repost it? What is Vogue going to do? Repost it? Oh, God. No, listen.
A man will.
Let me quote the great Candy Burris. She said she thought I should give her an apology. Good thing she don't get paid for thinking.
You have now said that twice.
I love it.
In this record.
No, because she deserved an apology from her number one op, who happens to be her husband.
Yeah. The thing about their relationship, though, is if you've been paying attention, he's always been her op. Like, from jump.
Well, I mean,
that slamming door video plays on repeat in my head.
Yeah, the Times Square one.
Yes, when he hits her with the door, he slams the door behind him when he's getting out of the car.
I'm just like, why would you? They obviously know that. I mean, every day, and I don't really like believe or buy into like every like TikTok conspiracy video about how he's still in love with Selena and all of that stuff. But I think she does in the interview address that like her marriage she's happy in her marriage, but it's just that everyone, I mean, it's like these teens clock in to say that they're unhappily married to one another.
Yep, full-time.
But like, why would you like say it like that? Like to Justin Bieber, why would you like add fuel to that fire when you know even like the construction of all of these sentences is shocking?
No, Rupi Kaur wrote this. I was like, what kind of poetry, slam poetry are you doing here? But to your point, though, he is doing the opposite of what she was trying to do in the Vogue video specifically, where she is like making fun of the fact that all these people have a very visceral opinion on her lived existence. Like pulling out the, I have this iPhone and just, I don't know, 4 more for creating fake profiles and stalking people and leaving comments online. Like she's doing her best to be cheeky with it. It was a little over the top in my opinion. It lasted too long in the video, but her trying to get the redemption arc only for him to go ahead and post that dumb caption.
Yeah. But this is not the first time that he has just like been weird about her on the internet.
I know.
Like whenever he was like, oh, he posted a photo of her paparazzi shot and was like, my bitch has pretty toes. On Mother's Day, he was like posting about like Mother's Day is hard for some people. Like, I hate Mother's Day sucks, da da da. And then posted like a carousel of just like random photos of her.
Yeah.
Not even like beautiful photos, just like random. It's so funny. I was with a friend recently and she was like, the thing about Justin Bieber is, you know, like the weed, like the potheads in high school, they would just like take random photos of people like all the time. They would just take random photos of you like picking up a Solo cup.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, why are you doing that? And that really is how he posts.
He posts like an esoteric gay man. You know, it's like corner of a building and then like shoe and then like dirt on the trash and then like Hailey's corner of a face. It's very specific and maybe it's nuanced and artsy actually now that I'm thinking about it.
You know where all of his artistry needs to go?
In the studio?
Into the studio. Into some because why isn't he like on a remix of Mutt? Like why isn't he I don't know.
He gave us a remix of Snooze. He locked in for that at least. And that is a better version. Well,
That's a better version?
Yeah, you don't like the Justin Bieber remix more?
This is the acoustic one they did on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it, but it's not recorded. I mean, he didn't like record that formally. Did he? I'm thinking, I know what you're thinking of.
I'm thinking about Snooze, SZA.
Yeah,
remix.
yeah. I was thinking of something different.
Oh, taste.
The like thing he did in Toronto because he like loves hockey.
Now you've lost me. Now I feel like Hailey.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did we go? Yeah.
How did we get back to what we were?
The thing that's tough is also, I mean, there's so much to talk about, and we have obviously only a certain amount of time to talk about with Justin Bieber, his history with his own fame, his mental health with drug addiction.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, like, he doesn't look good right now. He looks really unhealthy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, two things can be true. We don't need this caption on this post at all. It could have just been like a heart, proud of you, babe, of course. But then there's also, well, there is a mental illness thing going on. And like, it does scare me, honestly. I mean, I could not fathom, I would never want to be as famous as he is and he has been his entire life.
Yeah.
So like, how much fault are we giving him? Or like,
I see what you're saying. And I can extend a lot of grace. Like the videos from Coachella were like, made me really sad when he was like obviously like so, I don't know. Yeah. But at the same time, nah, girl, your wife gets a Vogue cover and her like $1 billion business is now sold on Sephora. And the most you can do is like, dang, I thought you were a flop, low key, when we got married. No. And listen, I know that I'm a Hailey believer.
I know. True. Tried and true.
But
It's
just
tough.
like.
But you know whose job it is? His damn social media manager. Change the password. Take the phone off him.
The keys.
Take his Wi-Fi.
Take the
Why do
keys
we
from
say
his account.
don't give men Wi-Fi? This is why.
No. And
LTE,
what will
take it away.
this is why I'm never getting married. What will a husband do but embarrass me?
Well, as it's been proven over and probably getting proven right now. Somebody.
You know what it also reminds me of? That time that Obama was like made some like offhand remark about how his book took long, like his memoir took longer than Michelle's memoir, and he was like, "Because I'm actually writing mine."
Men will do
Google it.
Men,
that's what I mean.
Men
it's like,
hate women.
Why? We're married.
Women.
Why are you talking about me at all? Like,
no, men hate women. Men hate women, especially that they're married to. They're like, my biggest off. Let's go to the fucking. Let's take it home. You and I put that ring on it. What is wrong with the? Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, no.
But the thing is, I don't think they'll ever, I mean, considering the way religion plays a role in that household on both of them, they're never getting divorced.
But do you remember too when her dad was like posting about like pray for Hailey and Justin, like reposted a video of like one of their pastors saying like they need prayers right now.
No.
And it's like even that, I'm like, girl, your damn dad is talking about you like no, we need to lock it all down. Don't post about me, don't talk about me, nothing. Because you know the kind of fans that will stoke up.
Absolutely.
I truly don't understand.
So what do we do about this? You and I. What do we do? It's on us.
Why am I like, Hailey Bieber, get behind me? Like, no, I've had enough of I suggest you don't fuck with my sis.
Let me say this, audience, we are calling on you. We start a GoFundMe. Like, what is our plan? What is Joe Biden's plan to fix this relationship?
Well, let me say this. I think a good start is we need Justin Bieber in the studio.
We need him in rehab.
Not online.
Let's get him in rehab before we get him in, or a rehab that has a studio facility.
You're
could work in tandem.
Really thinking at a crazy level right now. That Celsius is really coursing through your veins.
It's the artist's way.
I also don't like how like Justin Bieber's more unusual maybe concerning behavior,
Yeah.
you know, feeds into a narrative that is clearly promulgated.
I'm not the one or the
Well,
two.
whatever. By Scooter Braun, because Scooter Braun loves to call up TMZ and say, listen, the only reason that Justin Bieber was able to be successful is because I was on his team and I was able to manage him. And now he's like having to see the consequences of his own actions. And it's like, Scooter Braun, a viper.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Snake.
I don't like that this really almost affirms all the rumors that like the clear
Yes.
research that
Yes.
Scooter Braun's team is putting out.
Correct.
I don't like that at all. Because if one thing, listen, the enemy of my enemy, or the enemy of everyone.
Okay. Scooter Braun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need Justin Bieber, back in the studio. I need him being back to a video vixen. I love him in the pop star video. I need him to release the One Dance remix that Drake does not want you to know about.
And there went the point out the window.
It's
But
always,
Hailey,
it's
we're with
always
you,
a
girl.
long-winded bitch who's talking about, there goes the point.
Well, because I can see
There
it.
went the point.
I can see it so clearly because I know how it feels and I know where you go, which is nowhere. Okay, nowhere good. But Hailey, we're with you. Us and the Let Me Say This heads out there. And also,
Yeah.
if you want to gift us some road, we would take that too.
Ben taking it. I love it.
Yeah. Are you wearing it right now?
Actually, yeah, I am.
Well, period. Okay, stand on business then. Well, that's it for this week. As usual, we are 2 online, so you don't have to be.
What do I say? What did Issa Rae say? What will a man do? Embarrass you.
Mhm.
Embarrass you. And yet I still want one.
Oof, can't relate. But I guess Jojo Siwa can relate now. Follow us on socials at Let Me Say This Pod and at Peyton Dix and at Hunter H.
Let me